Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Nancy per usual.
With the shape of you.
So today's video is going to be basically a life update because I haven't posted in like 4 to 5 months. So I thought I'd catch you guys up on where my life is right now and what's going on. So I want to apologize ahead of time if I say a lot because I know I'm going to. If I sound kind of like gross, guys, I'm sorry. I'm sick right now. So I'm basically going to start off from ending my junior year. So if you didn't know, last time I posted, I was a junior in high school. So I ended that year in May. And I had to go to summer school for 2 weeks because math kicked my butt first semester. So I went for the first 2 weeks and I passed with an A. And then I went to Mexico on June 26th. So I went again. On June 26th, my flight was early in the morning. It was not delayed this time, which I was very happy about because last time it was delayed for 4 hours. We got to Mexico at around 1 p.m. and I stayed at my friend's house for the first like 4 days that I was there. And I spent a cool minute in Mexico. I was there for like almost a month exactly. But I left 2 days before the month was completed. So I spent 4 days at my friend's house, and it was a Friday, I left. My grandparents picked me up. So we went back to Michoacan, and I was there for the rest of the time. So basically, my cousin Mary, I don't know if I said her name in the last video, but Mary, she's the only other girl in our like family. It's me and her. We're the only girls, and then all of our cousins are boys. So she stayed with me the whole time I was there. We have our own room, basically. It has 2 beds, so each of us has our own bed. And that's where we stayed last time, too. So she stayed with me through the whole time I was there. And it was really fun. Me and her, I feel like we got a lot closer over the time I was there. We showed each other a lot of videos and memes and stuff, and we talked more. Last time we talked, but since it was like a short period of time, we didn't get as close, but we did get closer, which is funny because that was like the first time we actually met. Even though like last time I had gone when I was like 5, I had met her, but we didn't remember, and she obviously didn't remember because she was like 2 or 1. But so yeah, we got closer. I got closer with my other cousins, but I got mad at my cousins too, so they're just some jerks sometimes. But a lot of the time we didn't do much. We went to the lake that we went to last time, and we would go swimming there. Or we'd play games at the house. We had Uno, and we had this game that's similar to Monopoly, but it's like, I guess, the Mexican version of Monopoly. It's called Turista, and it was really fun. Me and Mary played that a lot. So when we would go to the lake, we would go home, and we'd go buy a pizza, and we'd play Turista. It was me, Mary, her brother, and then our other cousin Manny. So we would all like just hang out at the house, and it was really like fun because like we were just relaxing, you know. We went to the trampoline park twice, I think. Once just for fun, and then once for me and Manny's birthday. We share a birthday. Our birthday is on July 12th, so I am 17. He is 16. He is 1 year younger than me. But it was fun. So that's basically our routine. We would go to the lake, buy pizza, play the game, or go to the trampoline park, or just stay home and watch movies and chill, or be on our phones. And we would like get together and we'd play a game that's called Garena. I guess that's how you say it, Garena Free Fire. It's kind of like Fortnite, but we'd all play together, and like it was fun. Let's see. We went on a 2-day trip to Jalisco and Zacatecas. I don't know where else, but we passed by Guanajuato. I know that. I have pictures of like the places I went to. If you guys want to see, they'll probably be at the end of the video. Um, so yeah, we basically went to like different churches. That was that. It was a 2-day trip, so we were like overnight sleeping in the bus. It was a huge bus, and we would get to one place, we'd be there for 30 minutes, and then the next we'd be there for an hour, and then the next was like the first day. This was the first day. It was from like 2 p.m. to like 10 p.m. And when we got back at 9 p.m. to the bus, and it started raining, so they opened the bus ahead of time, so we left sooner. And we got to Zacatecas at like 3 in the morning, so we had to wait until 6 a.m. on the bus. So me and Mary and her brother stayed on the bus sleeping while everyone else went to church at 6 a.m. And then around 11 a.m. I think they came. My grandma came back on the bus, and she's like, "They opened everything. You guys can come down now." And we were like, "Okay." So we got up and we went and we had breakfast, and we were just, walking around looking at the stuff they were selling. And I went to the church. I wanted to take pictures, and I wanted to get a bottle of holy water. So I got a bottle of holy water for each location except 1 or 2, I think. That was either because I forgot or I didn't have a bottle with me because it was like the free ones, or they didn't sell it. So then the second day we spent I think that time from like 3 in the morning to like 1 p.m. in Zacatecas. And then after that, we went to a different place, I forgot where, for like 30 minutes. And then we went to the last place for like an hour, and then we went home. So we got home around 10 p.m., 11 p.m., something like that. And we had left, the previous day we left at like 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning, something like that. So we left really early, but we were on the road most of the time. So that was 2 days. The 2-day trip was 2 days after me and Manny's birthday. But for our birthday, they surprised us with a cake and balloons and whatnot. So they got us out of the house for like 15 minutes, and they set it up. And when I went in, but I didn't go into the house, I was leaning against the wall outside of the house. And then Manny went in before me, and they started singing happy birthday. So I turned around and like I see the cake and all that, and I was like, oh, this is so like nice. And they had like a row like of balloons, and they had a 1 and a 7 and a 1 and a 6 for him. So I didn't get to bring my balloons, I forgot. But they celebrated our birthday, and after that we went slingshotting at Lizards. They have like these like wooden slingshots in Mexico that are like this big, and they're like, slingshot. What a slingshot is, if you don't know what a slingshot is, then you're too young for me. But they had slingshots. There was like 4, and there was like 4 of my cousins, 3 of my cousins, I think. They went slingshotting, shooting at rocks at lizards. And then my grandma took me and Mary to her sister's house, and she lives by the lake that we go to, which is not that far. It's like 3 streets away from where my grandparents live. And so we walked over there, and she has a really big backyard, and like you could see the lake from it. And like she has pigs and bulls and cows and goats and whatnot. So, and then she has a little hammock. So me and Mary were all up on the hammock. We were chilling, and like it was just relaxed day for me. I was like chilling. I was like, this is the best birthday ever. I've never been so relaxed on my birthday, So I was really happy. So then we had the 2-day trip after my birthday. We left on the 14th. So my birthday was the 12th. So I was supposed to leave on the 17th. We came back the 15th at night. And I was supposed to leave the 17th, but my dad was like, no, you guys are going to come back, and like you're going to have 1 day of rest, and then you're going to go to the airport right away. He's like, why don't you just like wait? I was like, okay, fine. So I stayed another week. So I left on July 24th. But basically the rest of the time being, we would do the same. We would chill at home. We would go to the lake, or we would like just chill, like play games. So I remember one night, Mary's brother and Manny and me and her had a sleepover. I mean, me and her were already staying at my grandparents. They slept over. And there's a room across from ours, but that one only has one bed. So the boys stayed there, and me and her stayed in our room, obviously. And we had a prank war type of sleepover. It failed. We lost badly because I ended up getting mad, and it was like 3 in the morning, and we got in trouble. But it was funny because they filled me with flour from head to toe. So I was completely covered in flour. I was mad. I was like, oh, it's on. And so we tried, but it didn't work. We had shaving cream and we had the best things, and we failed. So we were like, whatever, and they threw chili, like hot sauce at us, and we were mad, but like, it was like, whatever. So I didn't talk to Mary's brother for a few days because I was so mad because he threw a chicken at me. Like, my grandma has a pet chicken named Kai, and he was like, I don't know how big he is now, but he was like this big. And he was sleeping in his box, and the box is like right outside of their door. So her brother grabbed him and threw him at us when I opened the door. And I tried to close the door because I panicked, and then I saw it was Kai, so I opened the door, and he fell on the bed, luckily. So he wasn't hurt. He was just like chirping a lot. So I got mad after that. Like, I started crying because I was so mad because they know I'm an animal lover, and like, if you hurt an animal in front of me, like, I'm gonna like fight you. So I picked up the chicken and like I put him back in his bed, in his box, and I started crying. We closed the door, we locked it, and we were like pissed. I was more pissed than Mary because obviously, like I said, I'm more into animals. Like, in Mexico, they don't even care about animals. That's what breaks my heart. But so I was crying because I was so frustrated. But I got over it like 3 or 4 days later. So we started talking again because obviously I was gonna leave, so I was like, I can't like leave on bad terms with my cousin. So that was pretty much it. We did a few things. I went to like 2 parties. One was a party, actual party, and one was like a small gathering. And if we had the best tacos, man, those tacos were so good. My favorite thing to eat in Mexico is the carnitas. Oh, they make the best carnitas. Like, carnitas are here are good, but the ones in Michoacan, like, they were so good, dude. Like, man, I could eat carnitas from there all the time. Anyways, my grandma made me green enchiladas because those are my favorite for my birthday. She made those for me for quite a few times, actually, while I was over there. I was so happy. I was, like, blessed, to be honest. So, yeah, she made a lot of different types of food. I made my family being my grandparents and Mary, I made them carne asada fries because they don't have those over there. RIP. I made them hamburgers and french fries because, I mean, they have those over there, but they do them very differently. And I was like, I miss it. So, basically that's what happened. On the day I left, me and Mary made pancakes. We got up early that day because, I wanted to spend the last, like, few hours with my family. So that day, I woke up at, like, 9. Here, it was already 11, but over there, I woke up at 9. That's early for me. And Mary got in the shower, and I got in the shower. And once she got out of the shower, we started making pancakes. And then, by the time we finished eating, it was, like, 11. So then, my grandma's sister came over, and she said bye to me. And then the night before, Manny's mom and Manny and his dad and his little brother had come to say goodbye to me, which was very emotional. I'm a big crybaby if you don't know me personally. So I cried and cried for a cool minute, and then they left. But Manny stayed a while after. He left later on his motorcycle. So then the next day, I had to say bye to my other aunt, which was also kind of emotional. And it wasn't as emotional as Manny's mom, but it was pretty emotional. And then I said bye to my grandma's sister. That one wasn't really emotional. And then we left around 1 because my flight was at 5 p.m. And we left at 1 p.m. because the airport is like 2 hours away. So me and Mary, when we were like in the car, we stopped at an OXXO. If you don't know what an OXXO is and you haven't been to Mexico, because those are all over the place. It's basically the 7-Eleven or AM/PM of here, but in Mexico. So it's called OXXO. It's OXXO. So we stopped at an OXXO, and it's connected to, it's like next to a Pemex. A Pemex is a gas station, basically. So we were like, oh yeah, can we go to the OXXO because we want to buy something. So we went, and Mary bought like a thing called Voila. It's basically like a Kinder Egg, but not inside, you know. It's like a little bag. It's this, about this big, and it comes with like little, like, I don't know what they are, to be honest. I didn't have one. And then it has like a little bag with a like surprise toy or whatever. So I got her one of those. I grabbed a big bag of chips. There's these things that are actually called like chips. Like, it says chips. And it's a purple bag, and those are like the absolute best if you ever go to Mexico and are in an OXXO. It's called chips. It's purple. Those are the best if you like kind of spicy stuff. But those are bomb. So I got those, and I got these like puff ones that are my favorite, to be honest. And then I got an ice cream and a Gatorade, I think. So I paid, and we left. We went back into the car. So the drive was kind of long, but it didn't feel long because me and Mary were like having fun, basically. We were like talking and whatever. So it seemed very short to us. And then they did wait with me in the airport for a while. They did wait with me in the airport for a while. My flight was at 5. I think 5 exactly. Or 5:20 probably at the latest. I don't even know. I have the flight ticket right there somewhere. I don't know. But it was like at 5 something p.m. And we got there at like 3:30 p.m. So we got there in advance because we had to weigh my luggage because we weren't sure if it was like at the because they have like specific weight that you can take. So we went to check it because we didn't know if mine was like meeting the expectation. So we were like, oh yeah, can we weigh it, like, can we use the scale? And they're like, oh yeah, sure, it's no problem. So we weighed it, and it was like 2 pounds, I want to say 2 kilos basically, which is like what, 5 pounds, I don't know. It's like, it was like barely, it met the requirements. I was like, oh my god, thank god, because I was traveling alone. So when I traveled there, I was traveling with my stepsister, and when I came back, I was by myself. They waited with me a little while after I had checked in and everything. So when you since I am under 18, I'm 17, you have to have permission from a guardian to fly alone. So they made my grandpa say, like, I give permission for my granddaughter to fly to the city of whatever for by herself or whatever, and he has to sign it. So it was on the back of my boarding pass. So they did that, and then they waited for me. They waited with me, like, I want to say like an hour or 45, maybe like 35 minutes after I checked in. And then my uncle, he was the one who drove me. Him, his wife, Mary, her brother, and my grandparents and me were in the car. And so we were all at the airport. So my uncle, he works the night shift. So it was 4 p.m. by the time they said goodbye, 4:30. And they were like, okay, well, we have to go. So I was like, okay. So he wanted to go home, and like, it's a 2-hour drive. So, and then he wanted to sleep before the night shift and eat and all that. So they're like, okay, well, I guess it's time for us to go. So they walked me to the gates, basically the like thing where you like walk in to wait for your plane. And so I said bye to my grandparents first, my grandma first, and she gave me the blessing, the bendición. If you don't know what that is, then it's basically where they do all this. And then my grandpa gave it to me, and then I said bye to everyone else. I was crying, obviously. I'm an emotional person, especially because, like, my grandparents, I love my grandparents so much. If you don't know me, my grandparents are, like, in my top 5 most important things to me, like, most important people to me. So I said goodbye to them, and I was crying, and then I was crying as I said goodbye to everyone. So then I walked in, and, like, I like waved and I went in, and like I went through the like metal detector and all that. I put my stuff through it. It was fine. And then I waited like, I want to say like 15 to 20 minutes for my plane, and it got there. And like, since I was traveling alone, I was stressed, so I was like paying attention to every little detail. So like when I saw the first people starting to get in their lines, I like rushed to my line. I was line 3, I think. So I rushed to my line, and I was like the first person in line, because I was like, I'm not trying to like get lost, I'm not trying to miss this plane. Like, you know, I was stressed because it was my first time ever traveling alone. But now that I know how to, I'm like, I'm down to go by myself. So there was 4 lines, and they put the first people to go, like the first line, they were like, okay, go. They were scanning their tickets, and they went, and they're like, you're gonna go in through whatever side they said. So then they were like, okay, come here. And like, I looked at the lady, and then I looked at the people in the second line, and then I looked at the lady, and then I just looked straight, and she was like, come here. And I was like, I looked at the people again, and she's like, no, you. And I was like, me? And she's like, yeah. So she called me over, so I started going, and she's like, how old are you? And I was showing her my ticket. She's like, how old are you? I was like, 17. And she's like, do you have a, and I turned it over so she could see that it was like signed, and she was like, oh, okay. And she scanned it. She's like, going through the back side of the plane. I was like, okay. So I went and I followed the other people in the line, and I was like, okay, like back of the plane, I'm not gonna, I was like, it's easier to go through the front, but you know, I'm gonna follow the rules. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to, like, you know, I didn't want to do anything wrong. I didn't want to mess up. So I went, and then when they finally started like boarding us on the plane, I went through the back side of the plane. I found my seat. So when I printed my boarding pass, there was 2 seats available. There was 3 seats. It was a line of seats, 3 seats, and the 2 next to me were empty. So I was like, I want a window seat. So I got my window seat, and then there was like 2 seats next to me, and they were still open. So I didn't end up knowing if people picked it. So when I got on the plane in my seat, there wasn't anybody coming to my seat. So I was like, okay, like hopefully that like nobody sits here, or at least no creepy men sit here. So that was like the worst like feeling. I was like getting anxious, because I was like, I don't know who's sitting next to me. Like, you know, somebody could be like a creep or something. So I saw this woman and her son walking, looking at the numbers. I was like, is she gonna sit here? So then when she got there, she sat down. I was like, oh, thank God. Like, yes, like it's a woman with her son. Like, I feel like I could trust this person. And so once the plane took off, I took a nap for like an hour. It was like a 2-hour flight. So I took a nap, and I woke up, and I couldn't go back to sleep. So I was just chilling. I was like, might as well just stay awake for the rest of the flight. So then me and the lady started talking. She was really nice. And I was like, I'm just gonna stick with you, because like I have never really traveled by myself. And she's like, oh really? I was like, yeah. And so I followed her to the baggage claim, and from there we said bye, and like I left. So the plane landed, I followed her, I went to baggage claim, I waited for my luggage, and I got my luggage, and I was like, where do I leave? So there was like these like 2 doors, but there was like these like metal scanners thingies again. So I was like, am I supposed to go through there? So I saw her again, and I was like, oh, do I go through there to leave? And she's like, yeah. I was like, okay, thank you so much. Nice to meet you. So I put my things through the like scanner again, and then I grabbed it, and like there's like 2 sets of doors, and I walked out the one side that I was on, and right when the doors opened, I like pulled my stuff out, and I looked up, and I saw my dad right there. So I was like, okay, like he was right there like waiting for me. So I was like, okay. So I went, and then they were like, you don't want to eat in Mexico anymore, do you? I was like, I mean, what are you guys thinking on having? Because I already know what I wanted. I knew what I wanted. I had known for like the past like 7 days. I was like, I know what I want. They're like, what do you want? I was like, In-N-Out. And then they're like, okay, we could do that. I was like, yes, queen. So we went to In-N-Out. We got home around like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. And I took out the stuff I brought them from Mexico, and I went to sleep. And then the next morning at around 11 a.m., my dad brought me home. I was blessed. I was like, yes, I'm so happy to be home. Like, yes, I missed my mom and I missed my dog. So I was like, I'm ready to be home. So I was home, and then I had a few weeks of summer break to chill. I went to school for 2 days because I'm in Link Crew. If you don't know what Link Crew is, basically sophomores, juniors, and seniors get together and help the new freshmen like find their classes and all that. So I was training for 2 days, and then on the first day I had training, and then I had senior portraits, and then the second day I had training and registration. And then the following Monday was freshman orientation, which was where I had to show them around the campus. So basically, I had to, like, those 3 days were pretty, like, busy for me. But after that, I had a week to, like, relax before school started. School started on August 13th. So I started my senior year. Ha, that's what's up. I'm about to graduate in May of 2019, guys. Yes. So I started school. It was pretty chill. My school is packed now. Like, so many kids moved there from, like, other places, and it's packed, and it sucks. But we're dealing with it. We're living. I have 5 periods, so I go to first, second, third, and fourth, and then I have lunch, and then I go to fifth, and then I go home. So my schedule is pretty chill. Like, I really like my schedule. My first period is financial literacy, and that class is, like, chill. My teacher doesn't really make us do much. Second period, I'm a TA, which is also really chill. Teacher's assistant, if you don't know what that means. So it's chill. I mean, she does make me do some stuff, but it's really easy stuff. Like, it's organizing and stamping and, like, numbering. It's easy. So third period, I have English, a little bit more stressful because the teacher she moves on very fast and she's very strict. And then fourth period, I have economics, which is pretty chill because the teacher, he cracks jokes all the time, so he's pretty funny. And then lunch, and then I go to fifth period, which is AP psychology. And psychology is probably what I'm going to go into in university or college or whatever. So that's gonna be my major most likely. So that's what's up. And then I go home. Normally people are like, oh yeah. I'm like, yes, I'm so ready to go home. They're like, there's still one more period. I'm like, oh, I don't have one. They're like, oh. So I leave at like 2 p.m. and everyone else gets out like basically at 3 p.m. So I leave, and then I get home, and, you know, I chill, do homework if I have any. So that's where my life is, basically. I'm in my 3rd week. I think this is the 3rd week of school. I might be wrong. I don't know. It is the 3rd week of school, and honestly, I have like 38 weeks until I graduate. So I'm counting down the days, to be honest, the weeks, because I'm just like, I'm ready to be out of high school, honestly. So that's about it, basically. You know, I don't think there's anything else. I went to the first football game, which was the 1st week of school. I went to the football game. We lost. It was like 6 to what? I don't remember. I know we scored 7. Ours was 7, and then the other was like 20 something. I don't remember, to be honest. But we lost. Our team always loses usually. I went to the game. I made new friends, and it's pretty chill. I had to be at school for the freshman tailgate anyways, so it was like, I got in for free too, so I was like, you know, if I get in for free, I'll stay. If I have to pay, then I'll just like go home. So I got to get in for free, so I was like, you know, that's what's up. So I went and I stayed for the game, and it was like, it ended around like 10 p.m. and 3 of the other team's people got hurt, but yet we still lost. Logic. So anyways, that was that. Last week they had an away game, and we finally won a game. It was a score of 30-16. So this week I think I am gonna go to the football game, hopefully. And then homecoming is coming up. Homecoming is on September 15th. I still don't know if I'm gonna go. I want to, but then I don't. So I don't know yet. I actually have to think about it like now, because I have to get my ticket and the permission slip or whatever. So yeah. So far, that's all that's been going on. There was gonna be senior sunrise last Friday, but they postponed it. They didn't cancel it. They postponed it. So I'm gonna wait for that. I'm definitely gonna go to that. I'm trying to go to every school event this year since I didn't go previous years. The only school event I went to was my freshman year. I went to the Halloween dance, but that was like bad. Like, nobody went. I mean, a few people did go, but it was kind of lame. And then I went to the first football game freshman year because I got in for free. And that was it. Those are the only 2 events I've been to, like, at school. So in all my 4 years, I've been there for 4 years, and that's all I've done so far. So this year I plan to go on to everything. I plan to go to all the home football games, to prom, to senior sunrise, senior sunset, homecoming, more whatever. I want to go to all the events because I want to say I at least went once, you know. So that's about it. I don't think there's anything else I'm missing out on from what my life is right now. So that's about it. So basically I'm a senior now and I can't wait to graduate. I'll probably put in one of my senior pictures, at the end, at the like very end of this video. So if you want to see one of my senior pictures, I hope you don't. I look like trash. I look miserable. I look like I'm saying help me. But anyways, if you want to see it, it'll be all the way at the end of the video. It is a proof though. It was emailed to me, so it has the like do not copy and like unretouched image or whatever on it. So don't mind that. But anyway, that's it for today's video. I'm sorry I haven't posted that much, guys. It's been a cool minute. But I'm trying to work on it. I will try to work on it this year. I'll probably do more vlogs since it is my senior year, and I'm probably going to go to more stuff. So I will try, guys. I promise. I'm going to try. The next time you see me, I'm probably going to do a haul video. A very short haul video from Route 21. I ordered some stuff online yesterday. So, yeah, if you want to see the haul, just wait for the next video. If I do it, hopefully I do it because I need to work on my posting game. But I'm going to try to do it. I promise. So, stay tuned for my first short haul video. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be very short. I'm gonna try things on too. So like, it's gonna be a haul / try on, whatever. So, yeah, stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you got to the end of this video and you saw all the pictures, you're amazing. So yeah, that's it for today's video. It's basically a simple life update. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So peace.